Hello, my YouTubers. Um, I want to talk today uh, about some new things that are going on. Of course, you know that I do the music thing and I do the health thing, um, which I am currently transferring to becoming a raw food, um, I guess you could say, eater, like completely raw. And I'm going a little bit further. I think I'm gonna lean more towards being a fruitarian because I just see the benefits in it. It's definitely something that I know that it's right for me. I feel it. I feel this energy like I'm going towards it. So I'm just gonna lean as hard as I can on it. I find it to be something that is doable. It's definitely doable. It's a little bit expensive. I'm not gonna say that it's not. I know people, say that there are ways, and yeah, there are ways that you can make it happen, but it can be quite expensive if you really think about it. It's like the fruit right now. The price of fruit is just really up, and so it becomes a little bit, of one of those things of like, man, it's expensive. So with that said and done, I do want to talk to you about some new products that I am doing. Now, I did realize um, that I had a problem with candida, and this was something that was really causing me to crave a lot of sugars. So what I did was I brought this product right here. I don't Let me put it over here. Hmm. It's called Candida Destroyer. You rebuild, restore, and balance the good bacteria in your tummy. So you can right now I'm on day number probably like I think it's 8, and I'm taking this right here. Let me see if I can. Um, this is one of the things that I do. This is the first part of it. This is part one. It's called Candy Destroy. Um, this right here is a two-part program to support yeast balance, promote healthy intestinal flora, and to replenish good bacteria into your pancita. Okay, so what you need in the panza is definitely things that are going to increase the good bacteria and decrease the bad bacteria. What one of the ladies told me at the health food place that I go to here is like you want to have right now have a balance like this. Well, yeah, like this. Move over so I can get in the camera. There we go. Like this of the candida being up here, and then the good bacteria being down here, and you want to reverse it and have it the opposite, so you keep the bad yeast down in your panza. So what I have been doing, as far as my eating is concerned, I am not currently, um, I'm not 100% raw. I have been having cravings towards um, towards cooked foods, things that I normally eat. I'm accustomed to them. It's an addiction, and it really is. People don't realize it was at one time it was a sugar. I'll say that it was a sugar, and I needed it, and I was just like a sugar fiend. I was like a sugar crackhead, literally. Like I needed it, and I don't know if anybody else out there can be real enough with themselves to realize that we as a people are addicted to food, and it is not something that you are going to be able to control. It's like once you stop or you put a halt on that food or that meat in general, you literally become like a ferocious animal. You need to feed it. It's like, you see that meat over there, you gotta have that. It literally, it sounds crazy and quacko, but I suggest to anybody, if you think I'm lying, just try to cut it out and see what's gonna happen. You're gonna see that tiger that's in your stomach, you get like you need it. And when you start, you think you just drive through a drive through, and You go to McDonald's and you're just, oh, I'm just getting a burger. Yeah, I'm just gonna have a little, I'm gonna snack on a little French fry or whatever. Try to cut it out completely and see what happens. I mean, you think that they're just giving you something. No, they've got something else out here for you. It's really deep. I mean, I don't know if anybody else has experienced this, but this is like really deep stuff. I mean, you're not just gonna be getting off the McDonald's wagon and think that, it's okay, or getting off of the Wendy's wagon, you know, or the Sonic wagon, or whatever it is that whatever your poison is. So my point is that um, let's talk about, well, first off, my point is that it's addicted. They're addicting foods, and we are addicts. Well, I'm an addict, and I can say that. Now I'm shifting myself to a healthier way of life. Not something necessarily my wife is really big into, because she's not, you know, somebody who, she doesn't have any weight problems, any issues. She's not somebody who particularly considers herself to be unhealthy or is a sickly person. So, she doesn't, I mean, she lives more towards the natural. My wife is Mexican, she's Mexicana, and it's like, they eat completely different than your standardized people that have been exposed to an American diet. And it's not like a Dominican or Puerto Rican diet where you eat, chuletas and stuff like that, and things that are, heavy rice and stuff like that, where you get all that good, that good flavor, and you be ready to kill somebody if they tell you you can't eat it with the sofrito in it. You know what I mean? So, but the thing is, it's like, or like, a heavily black diet, which is like, soul food and heavily seasoned stuff like collard greens and rice and chicken and stuff that you just want to, literally chew your fingers off while you're eating it. You know, it's she has, they have flavorful foods, but they mainly are very focused on the natural things. So it's a lot more. I noticed her diet is more like and if you know anything about like the southern part of Mexico, it's very soup based. Like everybody eats like a soup all the time. It's like in Jalisco, it's known they just eat a soup. They might have a soup for lunch or a soup for dinner or something. Soups are always something that's reinforced, and then they eat, the tacos, and the tacos, of course, are only this big. We think of a taco being something that's like this big, and you see somebody come up to you with a little taco like the size of a silver dollar and a little sprinkle of meat on it, and you're like, hey, where's the food at? What am I, a 5-year-old kid? Like, even a 5-year-old kid can't eat this. I need something that's gonna fill me up, some real food, some substance. But that's the way it is. So you may order like 5 or 6 tacos, but by the time you get to number 4, you're full. You're like, man, I didn't think it was that much, but I guess it was. And you learn yourself. It's a different atmosphere, as I'm saying. The way of and the style of eating is completely different. Now, even with that, so like I said, she comes from that way of thinking and life in general. So the idea of her being unhealthy is probably not something that she's, is gonna connect with, because she doesn't see the world, the same way. However, me being, from this culture and having the experiences that I have, I can say that I personally do have an unhealthy diet, because I have a lot of flavors and different chemicals that have coming in contact with my tongue, my taste buds. And I say chemicals because if you don't know that, when you go to a fast food place, they are serving you chemicals. They use MSG, monosodium glutamate, in about everything that they have. If you read the packages, you will see monosodium glutamate. and or sodium glutamate on the back of the packages. So everyone who thinks that they're not being poisoned uh, or being controlled through food, please wake up and realize that it is happening, and the war has already been won. As soon as and I had to get to this myself to realize the war is not something that is happening. People keep thinking, oh well, I know in the metaphysical world they think, oh well, we're sending out signals uh, through the media. Yeah, the media has something to do. Media is always going to have something to do because it's going to show you a viewpoint of another man. Who's going to have the viewpoint? The one who pays the bills, the one who has the money. It's only natural. So we're not even going to get into that. But you have to realize that the the uh, the imagery, the whole thing, the whole system has to come two ways to you. Well, I should say three ways. Okay, you're not gonna actually go up and touch it, so we can realize that it's not gonna be something that's touched. It's gonna be through your taste, your ears, and through your eyes, because these are the senses that you use and depend upon. I would say 95% of the time. Rarely do you depend on your touch. Do you see what I mean? You do touch and you have a sensation from things. But as far as something getting to you, most people talk to you before they even touch you. People don't really come into your vicinity, to be able to touch you. So that you have to visually see and hear. And the most important one is we're constantly putting what? Food in our mouth. So this is something that's very huge.